YouTube, what's going on? Today we get an update of the Fuad story. Greg Doucette, I guess, deleted his original video and posted this new one. Greg Doucette typically has like a good grasp on what goes on with things, and this is because he's just got so many connections. So hopefully we can find out a little bit more on what happened in this Greg video. So appreciate you, Greg, making this video. So let's get it.
And so I took my video down. Yeah, Fuad is right. I should have found out his side of the stories. If you watch Fuad's story, you're going to think Misha's nuts. If you watch Misha's story, you're going to think Fuad's nuts. And if you watch my story, you're going to think they're both doing things that they probably shouldn't be doing, that they provoked the situation. That's it. You're not going to think anyone's nuts. Just me for recording this video at 1:30 in the morning, and I should be having sexy time.
What? All right, so that's true what he said there, right? You gotta hear both stories, and that's like when I made my initial video where I told you guys I couldn't do because I didn't know both sides of the story. I don't know people like that, right? I'm not connected like that yet. Hopefully soon I'll be connected, but I'm not able to like get contact with these guys before making these videos, so I try to stay super even. But hopefully Greg could give us some good insight from both sides here. Are we playing? All right, there we go.
Coach Greg, in today's video, I'm going to explain why I took the Fouad Abiad throat smash video down, what actually took place, and so let's get right into it. In the original video, I talked to Misha, who explained exactly what happened. We've spoken yet again, and I've also had the chance to talk to Fuad. Fuad says, "Why didn't you talk to me in the first place? Why didn't you get the full story?" Well, why do you think? How many of you think that me and Fuad are on good terms? Good enough terms that I'm going to call him at 12:30 in the morning upon getting the news and recording this video. And so Coach Greg, he works 24/7.
24/7.
So while
Coach
all
Greg.
this was happening, my multiple editors are recording the video. After watching my video, Fuad then goes on Instagram and says what really happened. And so I'm going to be responding to what Fuad said transpired, Misha says transpired, and I'm assuming that what actually has transpired is somewhere in the middle. Just a quick backstory. In the original video, Misha said that Fouad Abiad was on a phone call with him for approximately 10 minutes and told him to come over. We don't know if it was for a talk, for a fight. We don't know anything. But what we do know is that Fuad invited him to come on over to his house. My personal opinion is if you think that the guy is a psychopath, of which Fuad is saying, if you think that the guy is harassing your wife, which Fuad is saying, and if you're sending emails to someone pretending to be a dead person in that person's life, then you don't invite that person to your house. The invitation, to me, it seems asinine. And if it's a former best friend, someone who stood at your wedding, and you're no longer friends, you don't engage with that person. The first rule of thumbs is you don't turk around and find out. And so if both of these men who were in their 40s would act like actual grown-ass adults, none of this would have happened. But let's listen to Fuad's side of the story first, because in the first video, I listened to Misha's side of the story. And so on his stories, I can see, if you harass a man's wife and him for years, and then show up to his house with a truck full of guys at night, he has every right to protect his wife, home, and himself by any means necessary. Based on that, raise your hand if you think that Fuad should not have gone out there with a baseball bat to defend him and his family. There's 0 hands being raised. Every single person out there who's not an absolute moron knows that if a truck full of guys shows up to your house and they've been threatening you for years, doing all these ridiculous things, he has every right to defend himself. And to only have a bat, what's wrong with you, Fuad? A truck full of guys, you better have a machine gun. What is going on right now? And so if a truck full of guys show up to my house and I'm protecting my family, I'm not going outside. I'm certainly not inviting my wife outside, my wife's brother outside to hang out with these intruders who are sociopaths who are there to destroy me. I'm closing the doors, locking them, calling the police immediately.
Status, arrested.
And so are we clear now? Am I saying Fuad's at fault? My opinion is Michal was redonkulous to show up in the first place. This is stupid. Why are we going to people's houses to record altercations?
That's
Let's
true.
avoid them
That's
in the
true.
first place. In the original video, people are quick to respond.
All right. The only time I do want an altercation recorded is when it's Coach Greg and Dr. Mike. One-on-one. No, I'm kidding.
Greg, it's such a bad take. You defended Misha. I defended both of these men. Both of them equally. Who threw the first punch? It was Fuad. And what did I say? I said he had every right to do it. Misha walked up to him, hands behind his back, aka Jeff Nippert style, but he got right up into his face 6 inches from him.
Style.
And so Fuad punched him back. Bravo! He had the right to do that. He was in his space. He didn't know what was behind his back. And so how am I not being impartial? I believe that is a fair rendition of what happened. And upon doing that in the original video, Fuad then made fun of this man. You're a loser, no one likes you, whatever. And he said, well, throw away the bat and we'll find out. Fuad throws the bat away and they had a fight. And what did I say about that? If two grown-ass adults want to fight and they agree to it, by all means. Now, am I a fan of them doing this? No. I think they should have both walked away. But no, they wanted to fight, and so they fought. And they both later end up at the hospital. It's over. The cops dealt with it. They saw the video. They decided no one's pressing charges. It's a consensual fight by true grown-ass adults. Fuad eventually got rid of the bat, and they fought it out. It's over. And so how is my video bad? This is just embarrassing, bro. Make sure you have all the facts before making a video slandering someone. I watched a video in 4K. Reality.
4K.
I didn't alter the video. And I did a play on what I watched. How is any of that false? Nothing that I...
See, that's kind of why, like, when I recorded the video, I just tried to stay away from too much opinion, right? Because I didn't know, like, who was exact in the right and the wrong.
Was a lie. Nothing was false. On the other hand, in Fuad's video, I'm reading a truck full of guys showed up to his door and he defended himself. There was Misha and that cocky coach with a video camera. If somebody's slandering someone, they need to be lying and saying false facts. And so, for example, if I said Misha showed up to his house with a baseball bat and threatened him, then I would be lying. That would be slanderous. Can't do that. I did not slander. Now, you can like me, you can dislike me, you can take sides, but I am spitting facts.
Oh, he's spitting
just
facts.
The facts, and I'm doing so without bias. And so when Fuad reached out to me, this is what he says. You should be ashamed of yourself, Greg. I know you had the chance to talk to me before putting out that video. Your hatred for me clouded your judgment, and instead of calling out the bully, you defended him. I don't hate Fuad. Fuad hates me. I don't hate Mike Israetel. Mike Israetel hates me. Are we getting a pattern? It's insane to me you can just put something out and spin it however you want without having any integrity to check out your story. The last encounter with Fuad was when he took one of my videos, spliced it up to make it look like I was supporting people buying Mike Van Wyck's clothing line. My opinion, I know Mike. He's a great guy. He's such a nice person. I'm still buying it. I didn't sue him. I took it on the chin. But do you think I'm actually friends with Fuad,
Bro.
that I should contact him after that? At 12:30 in the morning.
That's hilarious,
Fuad,
edit.
I just got off the phone with Misha. I know it's 12:30 a.m. I'm going to record a video. What's your side of the story? Oh, by the way, it's Coach Greg, the guy that you hate. Do you really think if a story broke out on Mike Israetel, I'm calling up? Hey, Mike Israetel, it's Coach Greg. I'll make a video on you. Heard you chokeslam Jeff Nippert.
Thank you, Greg.
He wouldn't take my call. Why would I
What?
assume that I have to talk to him? At 12:30 in the freaking morning. I know nothing about these accusations of
What?
somebody pretending to be somebody's dead brother. But that's besides the point. I personally don't think you should invite trouble to your door. And
That's
so there are,
true.
in fact, men who are threatening me right now for making this video. Cool. That's the type of person you are. That's the type of person you are. I don't deal with it. But notice, I don't invite them to my house. And if you do have the stupidity to do so, when they show up at your door, keep your wife and kids in the house and lock the door. And don't bring them out where they could do something you're not sure of. Especially if you're saying that they're a psychopath that they're mentally unstable.
I don't
How
know
do
if
you
he
know they're
invited
not
them
there to do
outside,
something
but
and who knows what? This could have been far worse. Haha, Fouad Abiad Kirking rocks. Talk shit to a man's wife and roll up to his house at night with two dudes. He's lucky he didn't get the bullet he deserved. There was only one man with him. Now, I'm not saying the other man should have been there. I don't think he should have been there. I'm not on his
I
side.
don't know
for
why he
that.
was recording
Why are we
either.
showing up with a camera?
Yeah.
Why are we doing this at night? All great points. Fuad says, show up and find out. He shouldn't have showed up. He should have said, you know what? We used to be best friends. We're not friends anymore. We're going my separate ways. And so I took my video down. Yeah, Fuad is right. I should have found out his side of the stories. Now, in my defense, Fuad hates me. This is a very difficult conversation
all
to
right,
have.
so I think we kind of get just his story. I don't know. I think I kind of watched this. He just kind of repeats himself, but that makes sense. I mean, both guys probably weren't in the best situation there. But go ahead, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about the update. And Blake Wendt signing out. Peace.